It is not enough to know your craft. You have to have feeling. Science is all very well, but for us, imagination is worth far more. Gond is the god of crafting, of construction, and of invention. He goes by many names, including the Holy Maker, Gearsmith, Inspiration Divine, Wonderbringer, the Meddler, and among his enemies, the Forge Stinking Breath. Among gnomes, he is known as Nebelun, and is sometimes considered an unofficial addition to their pantheon known as the Lords of the Golden Hills. He even goes by 6 secret names: Arenairus, Balateng, Deros, Clenauda, Marangor, and Tataba, which are revealed in that order to those who ascend among the ranks of his church. Gond's appearance varies with his moods, sometimes appearing as a brawny, red-haired smith, a thin, blonde man, or a serious-looking gnome, each with a worn face, bearing scars from the forge and sporting an intelligent, curious look in his eye. Sometimes he wears craftsman's clothes, and sometimes sporting magical plate armor made of durable glass that hovers around his body. Sometimes he takes the form of a hammer wreathed in smoke, or simply piercing eyes emerging from a cloud to the ring of beating anvils. During the time of troubles, when the gods were forced to walk the earth, Gond took the form of a gnome within the gnomish homeland of Lantan, and introduced the secrets of gunpowder weaponry to the world, as well as transforming Lantan into a powerhouse of technological marvels. The advanced weapons of Lantan were thereafter sold indiscriminately across Faerun, which was not the first or the last time that Gond saw fit to arm and to equip both sides of deadly conflicts. Indeed, the Wondermaker seems to be solely interested in the act of creation, while the consequences of progress for its own sake seem not to bother him so much. In this way, his personality is dangerously inconsistent. At times, he is fanatically focused upon a single task, but at other times, he wanders aimless through distraction. He might well be helpful and wise one minute, and the next arrogant and acidic. Thus, he is as likely to accept a commission from dark forces seeking wanton destruction as he is to aid those defending the innocent. Beside Melil and Denia, Gond serves Ogma, the god of knowledge. But his lack of foresight frequently strains his relationship with superiors and peers, especially Melil, who considers Gond's methods artless and irresponsible. His rivalry with the nature goddess Chauntea is, by contrast, relatively friendly, for Gond's inventions have helped the Earth Mother's domain over agriculture greatly. Besides a few rivalries, he maintains strong bonds with all crafting and smithing gods, especially Flandel Steelskin, the gnomish god of smithing, and the two are fast friends. Interestingly, despite Gond's unpredictability and tendency to rub other gods the wrong way, his only true enemy is Talos, the god of destruction, who would have all man-made inventions demolished, given half a chance. As part of Gond's portfolio, he can sense any craftwork, construction, or the destruction of any such object the moment it happens and for 10 days afterwards. He is immune to attack by gunpowder or any mechanical weapon, and any non-magical weapon used against him will be destroyed. Some presume on this basis that magic is his Achilles heel, but in fact, Gond merely regards the arcane as one more tool on his workbench. His followers join him in the afterlife within his realm of Wonderhome, which appears as a great library within Ogma's domain, of the House of Knowledge within Tirnanog in the realm of Outlands. Gond is an intermediate level deity, and his true neutral alignment represents his disregard for morality and dangerous dedication to progress for its own sake. His clerics often adopt the domains of Forge and Knowledge, and to his gnomish clerics who know him as Nibelun, the Trickery domain is not uncommon. He typically grants the power to turn and destroy undead, though at times he may offer the ability to rebuke and command undead if it serves some greater invention like zombie-powered turbines or something similarly outlandish. The favoured weapon of his faithful is the Warhammer, imitating Gond's own Forge Hammer of Thunderbolts, known as the Craftmaster. His holy time to pray for spells is first thing in the morning, before breakfast. In fact, the entire morning ritual is dedicated to prayer, rising and dressing to muttered incantations, focusing the mind on the day's work, before a larger prayer of thanks before breakfast, and another before setting out on any new crafting endeavour. His holy festival is Ipenshir, 12 days after the midpoint of spring, whereby his followers gather in temples, holy places, and workshops of famed inventors to drink, to feast, and to show off their inventions. This festival may continue for some time as many devotees tour from one site to another, displaying their work. Followers of Gond are known as Gondar or Gondsman, or among the gnomes, Nibelunan. His followers include rock gnomes, craftspeople, inventors, and technocrats of all types, even including intelligent golems, mephits, some celestials and demons both, as well as steel and crystal dragons. Many Gondsmen will produce 2 copies of their inventions. The first is to be displayed or used, while the second is smashed, burned, or otherwise destroyed as part of an offering known as the Sacred Unmaking. Gond is overwhelmingly worshipped in his former home of Lantern, but likewise Gondar worship ranks among the major faiths in Battledale and Mulhrand, and prominent temples will often appear in the capital cities of wealthy kingdoms, such as Cormia, Waterdeep, or Arm, for proximity to the administration of construction projects. The Gondar faith, sometimes called Gondria, is headed by a high artificer who, in theory, rules over the whole faith. But in reality, there is one high artificer in Lantern and another in Faerun. The Lanternese Hierophant is assisted by priests known as artificers, while temples and communities are each led by a master, advised by high seekers. Beneath them, a stratified structure of rankings from Seekers of the First Order all the way down to Seekers of the 12th Order. And beneath them, greater seekers being distinguished priests, and seekers after small things, being confirmed priests. Apprentices are known as seeker postulants and novices as wanderers. Within this rigid structure, loyalty to superiors is expected to be unquestioning. The Faerunian Gondar Church, the Gondria, is less formal, with itinerant clerics making the majority of the faithful. These priests are known in Lantern as Cree, meaning disadvantaged, though among themselves they prefer the term Wonderbringers or Consecrated of Gond. And if they must speak formally, they will call one another fellow consecrates or fellow artificer. Lacking the central hierarchy of Lantana, the Faerunian Gondar form their holy circles around different trades, such as the Armourers of the Wonderbringer, the Holy Order of the most skilled architects and bridge makers, the industrious brothers and sisters of carpentry, cabinetry, puppetry, and toy making, the Order of Puissant stonemakers and stone carvers, the most arcane order of gear makers, clock makers, and automationists, and the Society of Creative Castle Design and Construction. In my game, the loss of divine magic for over 50 years in the recent past has created a strong demand for secular medicine and technology, which led to the unhindered profiteering of many Gondsmen. Fueling this fire, within the Sunset Vale, a Thayan refugee known as the Apostate Al-Hazared began to preach that the gods are the enemy of humanity, that reliance on magic has made people weak, and that the only truths are technology and the advancement of human potential. Although the mad apostate was blinded and imprisoned, his rambling histories, procured through the raising of the dead and forcing them to tell their tales, it currently forms the most complete account of the divine spell plague and the rise of the heretical faiths. Coupled with the technologies he discovered, producing seemingly endless power, which the apostate claims are fueled by the bodies of slain gods. These inspired the rise of the secular thaumaturgist cult, who hides behind the symbology of the Gondar Church to worship technology instead of gods. These technocratic fanatics infest the Sunset Vale, and especially the Dragon Coast, where the metropolis of Westgate has grown to become a city of technological marvels. Meanwhile, Lantern was nearly destroyed by a tidal wave at the start of the Divine Spell Plague, perhaps as a parting shot from Talos. And the true Church of Gond is now filled with disaffected mutterings, for while they struggle to rebuild their magical cities, the Faerunian Gondsmen are blessed with strange new technologies, even as they deny the gods. Surely, something must be done to correct this injustice. The primary edicts of the Gondar faith are as follows. Actions count more than intentions. The result is the most important thing. Others talk, while those who serve Gond will do. Make new things that work. Become skilled at a craft and practice its methods and means until you can craft things to suit any situation or space. Question and challenge the unknown with new devices. New things should be both elegant and useful. Experiment and innovate to better create tools and processes, as well as engaging in diplomacy, sponsorship, and direct aid to spread these virtues. Keep meticulous records, so that others may follow your work and future generations may profit from your work long after you are gone. Observe and acquire the research and inventions of others and spread knowledge of them among the consecrated of God. And finally, discuss ideas freely and spread them wide, so that all may see the divine light of the Wonder Bringer.